Welcome to part 4 of Shredder's Revenge. In this episode, we're going to scroll up the character select and pick the good old hothead himself, Raphael. Raph has the shortest attack reach out of any of the characters, but he hits like a truck, so whether or not you're close or far, doesn't really matter. What makes Raph interesting is his choice of weapon, the Sai, a defensive weapon for an aggressive person.
A few screws loose!
Sais are known for disarming adversaries. In fact, the Sai is not even really that sharp. And another fun fact, Sais are a really good counter to katanas. Because Raph is always down Leonardo's neck bitching at him. I never noticed that before. And that's the thing about the character tropes of the Ninja Turtles. The writing is way smarter than it probably has any right to be. I have not seen any of the newer Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shows. Like, I've seen a little bit of 2012, but I haven't seen the rise of Ninja Turtles yet. I'm sure the character types are kept the same for the most part, but still, I can't get enough of that badass witty Raphael though. Always complaining to Leonardo. Man, why are you the leader? You suck. Anyway, I'm talking too much about character types. That's Raphael's taunt. He just laughs maniacally. Raphael, as a character, he's probably the strongest in the game next to Splinter, but he has short range. Also, a lot of his attacks are very volatile, therefore he knocks enemies away very, very quickly. And that's actually the opposite of how Raphael worked in the older games. He's usually the speed character with the least amount of damage, but again, he's fast, so it doesn't really matter. And getting back to how he works in this game, Raphael's special is a lot like April's in that he spins in place, but you can kind of control his movement. The biggest threat of this stage are the enemies that spawn mousers. You gotta attack these robots from behind and make sure they don't grab you. Oh, like that!
Trying to steal my story.
I think I just broke that VHS tape when that robot threw me into it. Oh yeah, that's the thing I don't miss. VHS tapes. They break so easily. Or maybe it's the VHS player we had when I was younger just eating up the VHS taping and wiring and stuff. I don't know, it was just stupid. I'm glad DVDs are a thing now. And even DVDs are on the downslope. Now it's Blu-ray. I'm not sure how I feel about Blu-ray. Well, I can see that going away in another 20 years and making way for something new. Imagine me at 45 just watching a movie on some sort of digital holodeck like it's Star Trek or something. That would be interesting. Anyway, enough about that tangent. This section right here is completely on conveyor belts, but there is a spot in the middle where you're safe. And by the looks of it, probably on the top of the screen too. Although I don't miss VHS players, I do kind of miss CRT TVs. They were cool. Wait, does Shredder have his own show? Or is that just like the older games where he's inside the TV, but he's not really because his finger's pointing outside the TV? You see, he's even doing the finger point, but his hand is not projecting outside the TV. You want to time the power pizza just right. That robot's gonna eat most of the damage. No pun intended. So, what is your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show? There seems to be a million takes on these guys, but I'm curious because there are so many takes on these guys. It seems like every generation has a TMNT show. And my favorite turtle show is the one I grew up with, the mid-2000s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's got the weird blend of silly and dark moments. I like how the main characters are portrayed, and also, I really love the theme song to 2003. This was still the era of very catchy cartoon intros, and TMNT has to be one of the very best, next to its original counterparts. And speaking of original counterparts, who can forget Turtles Forever? The crossover film where the Turtles of the New Millennium meet the Turtles of 1987. And although the voice actors of the original couldn't reprise their roles in that film, I rather enjoyed it, the aspect of multiple timelines merging together. Now, the fanboy me wants to see another Turtles Forever type movie, but with the 2012 cast in there too, in their full CGI glory, and then have the other Turtles in 2D still. That would be amazing. If only I had animation skills, I would make a fan-made project of that. Because you know, Hollywood doesn't want to for some reason. Oh, get off me! Always hated mousers in these games. What makes you laugh, Raph? What makes you laugh, Shredder? I want in on this joke. Why is everybody laughing today? Anyway, Metalhead is probably going to be the first boss that's going to give you trouble. He's got a whole bunch of different attacks, some of which make a return from Turtles in Time. One of his attacks at his disposal is that flying kick, the diagonal extended punch, as well as this force field where he shoots missiles at you. Ow! I was nowhere even near that missile. One of the missiles will fall to the floor undetonated, and it's your chance to fling it back at Metalhead to do some damage. Metalhead's extended punches are probably going to be the biggest threat in the boss fight because he reaches halfway across the screen with those. So either you dodge roll into him in order to keep the pressure on but avoid damage, or just be on the other side of the screen. Whatever works, just be sure to hit the missile back to Metalhead in order to open him up. His second phase is not that much more dangerous than his first phase, however, Metalhead is already kinda dangerous to begin with. So let me see if I could get an opening on him. Oh yeah, you have to watch out for mousers, they like to butt in on occasion. That's their whole MO, they just butt in. Anyway, Metalhead still does this missile attack, and oh, that's convenient. That, however, was not convenient.
Come and get me!
Wait, it's also clear to me now. The turtles are my friends. System crash.
Easy peasy.
Oh, I think we just screwed up Metalhead's programming. Shit. At least he's our friend now. And it looks like the last piece of the puzzle are the legs.
Tonight, I dine on turtle soup.
I wonder what turtle soup tastes like. I don't think I'll ever get the experience to eat that. Anyway, episode 11 appears to be back uptown. This stage is actually kind of shorter than the previous one.
Dinosaur Stampede!
The biggest threat of this stage are Triceratops soldiers. They are tough. There are 3 types of Triceratops soldiers you need to deal with. The ones with guns, the ones with shields, and the ones that like to charge at you. But in the meantime, you still got foot soldiers to fight. Side beats spear every time. Now you got the orange Triceratops troopers that like to dash at you, and on occasion punch too. They do have a couple of frames of super armor, but the finishing attack of your combo or a dash attack will knock them down. There are some Triceratops that like to wield guns, and they just shoot at you. And on occasion, when they're prompted to, I think they dash too, but it's not that often. I'm still failing to find the joke, Raph. There's gonna be a stampede here. Just as long as you're on the top of the screen, you will be unharmed. Alright, the green dinosaurs. They have shields and their super armor is enhanced tenfold, so you can either strike them from behind or keep attacking their shields in order to drop them. They still like to shoot guns like maniacs, so be careful with that. You can dodge roll right through the bullets. And it's good to see that the Triceratops are still susceptible to flammable explosives, even if it doesn't kill them in one hit. Man, who leaves a flammable barrel in a museum anyway? There we go. Special makes short work of these guys. But then again, special makes short work of anybody. Even the bosses. Unless you're playing on super hard or something. There are 3 different difficulties in Shredder's Revenge. You got okay, you got chill or cool, I think it's called, which is the difficulty I'm playing on. It's medium. And you got gnarly, which is the hardest difficulty. The game also gets more and more difficult with how many players are on screen. I'm sure you saw my multiplayer session 6 months ago where we were on this stage and all 6 of us just either died on the boss or the boss couldn't continue because the game sort of glitched out. Ugh, that was interesting. Well, to be fair, that was sort of almost day 1 multiplayer I was playing. I'm not sure if they fixed the online multiplayer. I haven't played that in a while. Those videos are still on my channel and should be at the bottom of this playlist. If you selected the playlist, that is. Does anybody even watch playlists or just select individual parts of the Let's Play? I'm not sure. But then again, everybody's different. I know for me, I've been a viewer of YouTube for about 14 years now, so I just select the random part and watch it. Just because. That's probably why Raph is laughing. I've been doing it wrong this whole time and he's making fun of me. Anyway, here's Dask, the visitor from Dimension X. He's got a side quest for us, and that's to find crystal shards. And is it me, or does Dask sound like a Star Wars character, like one of the X-Wing pilots? Or is that Dak? Dak Ralter, I think. I'm a nerd. Anyway, this part is interesting. You got this dimensional vortex in the background, and your goal is to knock every one of the enemies into that dimensional vortex. Back to Dimension X with ye. Hopefully we never get to visit that place.
Glory to the Triceraton Empire.
Captain Zorax, King of the Triceraton. He is very deadly, he is very tough, he is very lethal, he is getting his ass kicked by Raphael? What the hell? I just mopped the floor of Zorax. That wasn't really supposed to happen. Anyway, his attack patterns range from easy to kinda tricky, and he'll summon some of his Triceraton brethren to get you.
We must go underground, my children.
Well, it looks like I got my revenge from that multiplayer session from a couple of months ago. Yeah. Anyway, that pathway loops back to stage 5.
It won't fly!
I don't know, it looks like he's flying to me. There's something I noticed with the character icons on the upper left portion of the screen. Each character has their own unique sort of personality to them. So of course it's in Raphael's nature to look pissed off looking because that's Raphael in a half nutshell. Anyway, since this is a secret lab, the robots make a return. And I'm not sure if we see the Triceraton again in this game. Maybe in the last stage, but they barely make a presence at all in this game. It was just in the museum and that was really about it. Triceratons are just there. Okay, I think I may have found a song in this game that I don't really care for. I don't really like this song so much. Maybe it's just instrumentation, I'm not sure. I don't know, it just sounds like slide whistles. I don't really like slide whistles like that. But this is still an A+ soundtrack. Even if this song is not particularly great, then all the other songs in this game are. Anyway, that is a hole you can fall into, and it does cost you damage if you fall into it, so be careful. Gotta love that text bubble. The boss of this stage is Baxter Stockman in Fly Form, and depending on the continuity, sometimes Baxter Stockman is not even transforming into a fly. In fact, he was quite the opposite. He was more of a RoboCop-esque cyborg in the comics, and again in 2003. However, this is where the storylines between 2003 and the comic books sort of deviates. In the comic book story, Baxter transforms himself into a cyborg. In the 2003 series, Shredder was not having any of Baxter's shit and tortured him to death, and then transformed him into a robot. You know, for kids. I don't know, I kinda like Fly Baxter, but I think I like Cyborg Baxter more, just because of the menace and his character personality. It's very, very dark. What is that foot soldier doing? I'm practicing my meditation skills. Watch me float in midair. We're getting killed here, guy. Get your ass over here. Those fans can't affect the midair momentum of the foot soldiers, but they weren't supposed to be in the air like that. Anyway, what was I saying before? Oh yeah, I like Robot Baxter better, but I think they changed Baxter back into a fly for 2012. They cannot seem to make up their damn minds on whether Baxter's a freaking fly or a freaking robot that wants to kill April or not. Just make him a robot fly and be done with it, please. Hey, that would actually be badass, just a mechanical fly with mechanical wings and a realistic fly head with several eyes. That would be awesome. Anyway, you want to run past this section quickly because you got these freeze guns that will encase you in ice.
No seals, I eat 'em.
Wait, the punk frogs eat bugs? Even though the Ninja Turtles eat pizza? Yeah, it's strange pizza because it's got coconuts and pineapples on it, but still, they eat pizza. The punk frogs don't. Anyway, you can see the foot soldiers in the background being assembled and spray painted upon. And it looks like there's pink spray paint, and yet none of the foot soldiers have that color on them. I guess that's a nod to one of the many animation errors of the original show. Animation errors so rough that sometimes the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles talk like other turtles. Like, you wouldn't imagine that Michelangelo would sound anything like Leonardo, but sometimes that happens because of the janky animation errors. It did get better with the later seasons, but those first 3 or 4 seasons, man, I swear the animation just dies sometimes. Angry Video Game Nerd made a video about the animation errors of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. You should give it a watch, it's pretty entertaining. Anyway, this part is kind of tricky because you got these laser gates that like to fire electricity out. You don't really have that much room to maneuver, but they do give you an infinite ninja power pizza here. Ah, there we go. We got one more screen to go before we meet Baxter Stockman. And more plunger gun enemies. And robots. And it is a thing that Baxter Stockman invented the Mousers. I'm not sure what their original purpose was. I think it was world domination or something. But no, they're here to destroy the turtles. And these spider droid enemies are kind of annoying because they stay at a distance, but once you know to drop kick them, they'll go down very quickly. Wait, I didn't know I was playing Stockman's Revenge. I thought I was playing Shredder's Revenge. Man, you ain't important here, Baxter. Yeah, whatever. Baxter Stockman is going to be in the air for most of the boss fight, so you have to use your double jump attack. You can also settle for your launcher attack, which is pressing X and square together. Raph will do a little Shoryuken type attack. And when Baxter stays at one corner of the screen, it makes him really easy to exploit. Now here's stage 2 of this boss fight, in which Baxter employs these fuck-off lasers that fill the screen, and they're annoying to dodge. Your dodge roll will get you through that attack, but you need to time it carefully. But otherwise, Baxter is not really that hard, other than that screen-filling attack. He's slightly harder than Zorax, but not by much. Oh jeez, are you freaking kidding me? He's got 0.01 health left. There's barely even red there. What is this bullshit? Come on, Baxter, let me fight you.
You no good ninjas! Easy peasy. The old dome has seen better days.
Ah, fuck. So we do go to Dimension X. Alright, well, I'll see you on the other side in part 5.
Teenage Mutant Ninja